Before we inevitably change PM through either a party room knife fight or an election, I thought I'd show you how to draw Scott Morrison. When I say draw, I mean caricature, because that's what I'm good at, I suppose. A common misconception is the caricature has to be someone's face, like an exaggerated portrait of someone's features, but it doesn't have to mean that. You can also draw a caricature without drawing the person at all. So here's some examples. What we'll do first is draw Scott Morrison without drawing Scott Morrison, which is helpful because his face is so unremarkable that it's hard to extract enough uniqueness from it. So first up, his most famous act, or infamous, was to jet off to Honolulu during Australia's devastating 2020 fires. Those who have a go will go to Honolulu. So for that, all you need to represent that is a colourful collared shirt, floral design, and maybe a floral headdress. These tokenistic symbols are in line with his manufactured self-image. Then we've got God, Bible bashing. Scott Morrison is part of something called Horizon Church, which is similar to Hillsong in that it's a mix of theology and commercialization, where they get together and they pray for like double garages and like the Bunnings gods to shine on them, or other subsidiaries of Wesfarmers. Anyway, so all you need for that is a halo perhaps, or you can put religious symbols within the Hawaiian shirt. Next we got the Sharks. Soggy Bottom Scott purports to be the biggest fan, the most avid supporter of the Cronulla Sharks. Interestingly, Sean Kelly's article, Looking for Scott Morrison, reports that up until a certain point, Scott Morrison was a big fan of rugby union and not so interested in rugby league. However, he had to change dramatically as to fit in or to be more identifiably a regular Aussie bloke. Take from that what you will. To represent the Sharks, all you need is cheap Sharks merchandise like a Sharks cap or a Sharks scarf in that horrible baby blue. Then there's coal. Coal is really important to Scott Morrison, so important that early in his prime ministership he went into Parliament House thrusting this piece of coal around like Shakespeare's Hamlet, pontificating about its importance to the Australian economy, which we're all gradually moving away from. Incidentally, it's so important to him and his friends, they named their group party after it, which is code for a revolving door for the Minerals Council. Coal is kind of hard to draw because it's just a big black blob, but people kind of get it. The trophy. A callous little object in the shape of a fishing boat, which is inscribed with, "I stopped these." You can pop that in the background or on his desk if you're doing a desk scene, or even you could put it again in the Hawaiian shirt design details. Is there anything else? Oh, Macca's. Allegedly, in 1997, Scott Morrison, at a young age, 27, 28, defecated in his pants at the Engadine Macca's. Whether this story is true, it doesn't really matter anymore. As part of the beauty of caricaturing, you can take pieces of the national narrative, such as Scott Morrison is a poopy pants, and include it in your pictures, no matter how childish, and that's fine. To represent that, you might want to just chuck in a little branded piece of junk, like a chip packet or a Happy Meal or something. Or, put Ronald in. I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, so there you have a pretty good caricature of Scott Morrison without even having to draw his face. If you'd like to learn how to draw his face, then I suggest you pause now, do an image search on his mug, and then unpause after you had a look at that. I will go through an analysis and a step-by-step of how to draw it, and that's going to happen now. Sinister Scott, Shameless ScoMo, Mendacious Morrison, Scotty from Marketing, Mr. Announcement. His head is kind of like a potato sack with some bricks in it, so it's square but with some lumpy and droopy bits. His chin hangs off the bottom like a lost shoe. He's got a forced smile that heads off in a diagonal, sinking off his face. And leads into this crease that kind of looks like one of those lines that is falling off a chart. Pardon me. Either side of that, you've got the nasolabial furrows. One which is like a question mark, and the other one sort of slides off into nothingness. Above that, you've got this pug nose, which again asymmetrically sits off to one side so far that one nostril looks like it's been left behind. It's really stretching out there. Kind of gives him the impression that he's got this permanent sneer. On top of that, you want to pop in those frameless glasses. The frameless glasses can just be rounded rectangles that have black lines off the side that run to the top of their ears. If for the eyes, you want to just leave the glasses blank, that kind of gives him that sinister, vacant look, which is appropriate. Or if you want to go for a more comedic look, then you can put in little anime eyes. Or if you're actually drawing the eyes, just make sure they're like compressed down, quite straight along the top. and I don't know, squished like a slider in a sandwich press. He's got fairly modest eyebrows for a Liberal Prime Minister, so leave them kind of subtle. Above that, you've got this little lump above his eye there. Oh yeah, and the hairline is going back, and it's going back each day. You want just some white sticks poking out the top in different directions. And on the side, it's more wiry, a kind of pruned pelt that comes down neatly. Kind of looks like an emaciated polar bear. Ears, yeah, large, not ridiculously large. And there you have it. There you've got a caricature of an unremarkable Prime Minister who is famous for pooping his pants. If you like this video, click subscribe or comment or something. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your time. Bye for now.